Welcome to J-Loop. Hello, I am Jackie Nico. Hi, I'm Jackie Nico, and this is Jessie DeGrappa.
You didn't have to restart for me. What color do you want today?
I think green, because I'm wearing green.
Oh, you are? Totally. Yeah.
Totes.
Okay. Ready?
Totes is over, right? Who says that? Nobody says that anymore.
Old people.
Oh. Okay. Do I need to
I'm thinking red. It's going to pop.
Pop.
Yeah, against my
Pop it like it's hot.
blue...
Did you watch the Super Bowl?
my blue Kauai surf shirt.
So, did you watch the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I worked at Dead Bar.
Okay.
Which is ridiculous.
I know nothing about Dead Bar. Why is it ridiculous?
No, I mean, I worked a bar.
Okay.
Like bartending, serving burgers. And there was nobody. Like 2 people came in from 5 p.m. to 9.
Do you have televisions?
Yeah, we have 4.
Oh.
But we only really have... We have 3, and then there's 5 seats, and then an L, and then there's 3 seats. Obviously, like, the end of the L, it's like, you're, like, turning, you're like, oh, fuck, I can't see anything, you know? That's just bad for your irises or...
Excuse me. I'm going to be an air sign for a minute.
Air sign.
Do you know what I just realized? You kind of resemble Howard Stern.
What?
And it's really great. Do you know who he is?
Is it because I look like I'm Jewish?
Are you Jewish?
No.
Oh.
But he for sure is.
Yeah. You just,
People ask me if I'm Jewish because of my fro. That's why I said that.
That's, well...
Howard Stern, really?
I'm part Jewish.
I mean, I'm wearing a flat-billed Vans hat.
I love Howard Stern, so that's a compliment.
Okay. I think anybody that knows him, that would be a compliment.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I think he's the greatest, and I can only hope that this podcast goes in the direction of Howard Stern's.
I didn't know he had one.
Oh, yeah. One of my favorites. Maybe
I really
we should
don't know a
model
lot
this.
about him, to be honest.
All right, well, we can look into that. Anyways, that was a sidebar. Go ahead.
What's your
Super
favorite
Bowl.
thing about Howard Stern, though? Just real quick.
Oh, gosh. Everything.
Everything. Whoa. This sounds personal.
I don't know him at all. I've never met him. I don't know him. I've been listening to him since I was young.
He's not on that
But maybe he
celebrity
formed
dating
me.
app.
I wouldn't know.
You want it?
No.
Oh, right. That's right. It's confidential. I forgot.
Anyways,
So,
go ahead. Okay, back to the Super Bowl.
I was just going to say, I just had I already didn't want to go to work, and then I had like the worst Super Bowl experience ever because
No one was there.
yeah, and
celebrate?
we play music. Well, I don't really care. I wanted San Francisco to win because I love a good underdog story. And we're
I
talking
know.
Mighty Ducks, freaking Rudy. You know,
But come on, you knew that Taylor's boyfriend was going to win.
I mean,
There was no.
the real
getting
thing is
around
nobody
that.
nobody cares who wins because she's the real star. I mean, it's like who
So,
cares how many times the camera
she couldn't
pans
be at
over
the
to
Super
her.
Bowl and they not win. Like it was when I didn't care. I mean, it was a good game. It was a really good game. I'm usually not that into this, but I thought it was an incredible game, whether it's propaganda or not.
Yeah, you don't think it's fixed? There's no way that it's not rigged.
Fixed. There's no way that the Super Bowl is not rigged. I don't know if they rig it every year, but this year it was rigged.
Okay, actually, on the way here, and by the way, I stopped at McDonald's. I know you're kind of like a healthy, really great person. That's fine. But I had 2 sausage McMuffins, and I got this awesome coffee, which I never drink. It's kind of like I wanted to drink coffee.
I drink the coffee. I drink the coffee from McDonald's.
You do?
I haven't in a long time, but I would.
Yeah.
wouldn't
After
put it
I saw
past
that
me.
like Sour Patch fucking energy drink you had that one day, I was
You were like,
I was like,
bets are
oh,
off.
she breaks rules. Yeah, she's cooler now. So-
Oh, I
don't
the
drink
cool
those, but-
factor. Yeah, no.
and you
I
had a
agree.
Celsius today? I've heard some bad things about those.
You know what?
Like horrible. Also,
I decided I don't like it anymore. I don't like Celsius
okay,
anymore.
1 cup of coffee is 80 milligrams, right?
Yeah.
A Celsius has 200 in it. That's already two.
All these energy drinks do.
Red Bull only has 80.
Ugh, I hate
As
the taste
well.
of Red Bull, but that's from a past of mixing that with some
Yeah.
vodka.
Ugh. So gross. Vodka Red Bulls. What is it?
Ew.
What is it about vodka? It's disgusting.
Yeah, I'm done. I don't like vodka. I'm not a vodka drinker.
All respect to Russia.
But
I think vodka is disgusting.
If and when you drink, what is your liqueur of choice?
Whiskey. Bourbon, technically. I'm still 26, so Jim Beam will make me happy.
Okay. I am not 26. Anyways, so that is not my drink of choice.
But anyways, as I'm at McDonald's going through the drive-thru, I see this video on TikTok because, of course, before we do this, I'm like, I should just ingest a bunch of crap, right? Like fill my mind with some stuff to talk about. And it's TikTok. It's always like the most relevant things. And it was, I wish that I had paid attention to like what quarter or whatever was going on, what time of the game it was. But it was these dudes, and they were like, there was like 10 of them all in this room, and they were like, did you just see that? Did you just see that? I was like, swear I'm not tripping. And I guess Kansas City, they like recorded this. Kansas City got a first down after getting a 2-yard gain from a 1st and 10. So they had a 1st and 10.
Okay.
Mahomes runs it, barely crosses the line of scrimmage, gets a 2-yard gain, right? And so that it should be then like 2nd and 8, right?
Okay.
2nd and 7.
Okay.
And so then all of a sudden, like, they do some, like, you know, they show faces and this and that, and all of a sudden it like clicked, and it was 1st and 10 again.
So what
supposedly.
So what would the point of that have been?
Well, the point is that they needed to get another 8 yards to get another first down. But they just randomly, automatically got one. Oh. Like, it was weird. Does that make sense?
Do you know that
you don't know football that well.
Some Christians feel that Taylor Swift is a witch and that she performs witchcraft.
Mm-hmm. She might.
That she might have put some witchery on the game. I
mean, she might. I definitely, my pops used to date a witch before I was born, I think. I definitely think that there is magic out there that we don't understand. If
she's a witch, I like her so much more than I did.
You're kind of witchy yourself. A week ago. So where did you hear that?
Online sources.
You won't reveal.
No, I just can't remember.
Where do you get your information?
I'm older than you.
You're like,
I can't remember.
CNN. CNN would say something like that.
No, I think it was like some Christian. I don't know.
Like, do you follow a Christian?
No.
Something?
No, it just like popped up. I don't know why.
They're like, you need Jesus.
Yeah,
and Taylor's a witch.
Probably. They're probably like, hang on, you're going off the path. I don't know.
They're like, did you know Taylor
Maybe I
Swift?
said the fuck word too many times last week in our podcast, and they were like, Jesus needs to get within you a little bit more.
You need to be
week.
touched.
Yes. Okay, so that's cool. So they won. I knew they were going to win. And everyone's like, there's no way. There's only like seconds left. I'm like, no. They're going to win. That would be something a witch would do, though. It's like in the last moment.
Yeah.
So I knew they were going to win. I don't know who knew, but Taylor knew.
Yeah, she was cool as a cucumber the whole time.
There was like a couple times where she was like this, and I was like, oh, she's doing her spell under her hand.
Oh, yeah.
She's doing her spell.
Oh, totally. Like, like how the offensive coaches cover their mouths so that you can't see what the plays they're saying. Every
time they were going over to her, she was like either hugging somebody where you couldn't see her mouth.
She's like whispering in their ear.
Or she's like whispering. I mean, I have
she blinks 3 times.
I have like a degree separation from Blake. Maybe we should ask Blake.
Who's that?
Lively, her friend.
Oh. They're friends?
They're
cool.
best friends.
Blake Lively's cool.
I don't know.
She's really pretty.
Did you even watch the Super Bowl, Jesse? Like,
well, kind of.
Like, hello? It was the person with the beautiful curly blonde hair next to her.
I did not notice. I saw Taylor once because also I was working, so the screens are behind me. But there was 2 people, but also I was just like in a really bad mood.
All right.
So I was kind of on my phone. I was like, ugh. But the one time I saw Taylor Swift, she was next to this dude with like black hair and like a beard. And I was like, that dude was getting the most publicity out of anybody in this game. Lucky him.
Lucky him. I have no idea who you're talking about, but lucky him.
I didn't recognize him or anything. I love Blake Lively. I think I would have noticed her. She used to be like one of my crushes for sure. It was like her, Olivia Wilde, Anne Hathaway was like my first one.
Ooh, Anne.
Yeah, Devil Wears Prada was me and my mom's movie for a minute when I was a kid.
Oh, I love that. I love a you and mom movie.
Yeah.
Mine was Stepmom.
She's single mother, so.
Really? Yeah,
We used to watch shit all the time.
Stepmom, like single moms that are like dying. And why was this my favorite movie? As like a 10-year-old. It's really messed up.
Well, yeah, especially as like 10-year-old like boy growing up in Wyoming. I mean, you know, I used to go to my dad's house and we'd watch Saving Private Ryan and 300 all day long. I'd go to my mom's and we watch Devil Wears Prada, 13 Going on 30.
Ooh,
Holy
great
smokes,
one.
that's a good one.
Great one. 10 Things I Hate About You.
I never watched that one, actually. First movie I ever saw with, actually, I was going to say first movie I ever saw with Heath Ledger was The Dark Knight, but it was actually Patriot. Have you ever seen that? He dies. Oh, shit. Maybe I shouldn't spoil it.
No, it's fine.
He dies at the end. It's fucked.
He kind of looks like my ex-husband, so sometimes.
No way. I can see it just based on socks.
Oh, really?
I mean, yeah, a little bit.
And the
really, hair.
Like actually,
the hair.
people, they look a lot alike. Anyways, don't want to go down that road right now.
No. That's for later when people have to listen to us.
I mean, we can circle back to so many things right now, but what's on the top of my head is that the Sour Patch drink you saw me drinking is called Ghost, and it's actually supposed to be healthier than
really.
It's supposed to be, but the can looks ridiculous,
right?
Because they want
you to notice it.
Well, no, I think they want the youth to drink it.
That's literally what I think.
Brilliant.
That's what makes me think that, because in my opinion, the more colorful something is, the less healthy it is. Like every candy ever,
right? You know, you are the youth.
You're a youth at heart.
Don't I look youthful?
Absolutely. No, I do think we should never ever. You should never ever say your age, because we do look like the same age.
Maybe I am the same age.
Maybe I
just
look older.
Like pretending.
I
like
do kind of feel like we are a lot of times.
Maybe I don't.
And then we like hang out with your kids, and I'm like, holy fuck, she's a mom and is extremely responsible with a billion parts of her life.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then you're like, wow, there's a big difference here. But maybe, who knows? You know, maybe I don't want people to know that I was a teen mom.
Well, I mean, we have a ton of fun. Oh, you totally were, huh? Yeah, that's right.
Whatever. We can talk about that another day or another time.
Oh, there's so much stuff to talk about.
No shame in that game. If you're a teen mom, you're fucking awesome.
Agreed.
And powerful and holy cow, how brave.
Yeah.
All right. So anyways, moving on from age, because I want to move on.
So, like, do you actually believe in witchcraft?
Of course.
Okay, yeah.
Do you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think there's a ton of things about this world that we don't understand. So even like, I mean, some of the top like physicists, I'm sure, would talk about the fact that there are dimensions that we don't know and could never see, or even our brains aren't just big enough to like wrap our fucking feeble minds around the concept of them.
No.
And there's like things that live in them, and I do think that that's partially where like a lot of religion has come from, because people have seen things they don't understand, and then they just attribute it to like, oh, this is a higher power that like loves me or hates me and like wants evil or this and that. I think they're just like, it's one of those things where like if something, whatever it is somehow conscious or living in whatever proportion it can, right? It's like we're both actors, right? And it's like every time, even if in a script, and this probably would never happen to you, but even in a script, if you were like a rapist and you had to play that part, it's like when you're reading it, you're like, oh, that sounds horrible. But no, it's like to you are the hero of your own story no matter what. So like what you're doing is like the correct thing. It's not like the like rapist is like doing this being like, oh, this is so evil. Like, ha ha ha. He's like, this is what I want. And that's what makes it okay. And so I feel like that's where people like, attribute this like Satan, right? It's like they probably just met something that is like so much more powerful and ominous than them, that is doing what it wants to do and like feeding how it feeds or whatever it is, and they just attribute to like, oh, this thing's trying to like bring out the evil in everybody, so we have to like. I
don't think that's an entity that is like gonna make an evil choice.
No, I mean there's like balance, right?
Let me be really clear, though, that I don't think that rape is okay in any way, shape, or form.
No. We're talking about, and okay, that specific like what I just said, so there's this book I got and that our agent recommended to me. And it's called The Power of Acting. It's amazing. But that is literally one of the examples she uses because it's one of the most horrible, I feel like, examples that like
You're
pierces
using this as far as like going into a script.
Yeah. Like going, if you were going to act that way, like if that was like your job, you know what I mean? Like do it to the best of your abilities. So you have to like somehow form this concept where like from that point of view of that character, like that's
right.
You know, it's not that person doesn't think it's evil. Everybody thinks that what they're doing is okay, no matter what they're doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even Pol Pot, we're talking, you know, Hitler, we're talking Joseph Stalin, we're talking all these types of people. Even Alexander the Great, Genghis Khan. People revere some of these people who did horrible things that they obviously just either choose not to think about or recognize. You know, every soldier that's ever fought in a war ever, I don't care who they are, they've done some bad things over there. It's just it's what happens.
Well, you can't have light without dark.
Oh yeah, which
and like really, if you think about it, these horrific people, characters, that have been through time and space and history, they've also formed a purpose for a better good.
Oh, totally.
Like think about all the goodness that's come. You're disgusting at 26.
Excuse
clearly.
me. I should have done that right in the mic.
So yes, I understand that like it all has a purpose. And when people are like, oh no, like that, you know, there was no need for that to happen. If you look at like how history evolved from a lot of these horrific humans, it actually ended up being for a higher purpose of good. Yeah,
hopefully.
No, for sure.
I mean, and I feel like that's what people always forget is like the absolute like balance of power. Because people get really arrogant and they think somehow they're like tipping it, but it doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? And that's why like I hate watching the news. Like the news's motto, which I recently learned, is if it bleeds, it reads. So it's like everything on the news is horrible. Yeah. It's like the most worst things ever. And it's because they, first of all, like we were saying earlier, like people love the darkness about life. I don't care how good they are. Something inside of them like wants to like see it.
Totally.
You know, especially if they're not a part of it.
Can I make this light but dark but light?
Yeah.
Speaking of top TikToks.
Top talks.
A Tic Tac. Is that where they got that from?
I don't know.
Wow, maybe that's where they got that from.
TikTok.
All right.
Maybe.
And it's like quick. All right. Let's
attention spans.
We can debate about that later. But anyways, did you see the one Tesla driving through a graveyard?
Oh, and there's like things showing up on the little camera, like people walking, and the fucking car is seeing them.
Gosh. We need to find that and like put that on here, link it below. It's the craziest thing. If you don't believe, it actually goes along with what we're saying.
Right.
Like if you don't believe in something outside of us, like of the unseen, just watch that, right?
Yeah, I know. It's like how could you sit there and watch that and be like, oh, that's fake? No, there is something going on.
There's no way that could have been fake. It was one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life. Speaking of that, have you ever seen a ghost or felt a ghostly presence around you? No.
I think, and I've always wondered if that's a good or a bad thing because my pops used to say that he would tell me stories about, because I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing about your character or like your spirit or something. But my pops used to talk about like one time he was moving in his house and they were like, yeah, you can hear chains dragging all the time and ghosts this and that. And he's like, as soon as I moved in, he's like, I never saw a damn thing.
Wow.
So I do think
they left.
Right. Like stories like that made me think that there are people who those types of energies or whatever just can't really exist around because also supposedly they like feed on your reactions and stuff like that. And not all of them, right? We're talking about good and bad. So maybe it's more malevolent ones or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
Or maybe, you know, with how good you are, you seem more benevolent. You know, I think maybe I'm just like right smack dab in the middle where they're just like, I can't fuck with this dude either way.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I think that I've definitely put up a guard. No, I think you're right. It definitely has something to do with like boundaries. Yeah. Because they haven't come around me in recent years.
Okay.
But They used to.
Okay.
I had one living.
That's another thing. It's like people talk about when they're younger, but then they get older and stronger, more mature, whatever, and it just kind of like, disappears in the air.
Totally.
In their lives.
I mean, but no, I had actually really significant experiences as an adult.
Until recently, or has it been a while?
No, it's been, I think the last one was when, my son's almost 11, and the last one was when he was a baby.
Oh, yeah.
So it's been like over a decade.
You like got that mom power.
I think so.
And
It
they're
was
like, whoa.
oh no, you're not.
Can't fuck with this chick.
Yeah. I lived in an apartment in Los Angeles.
Cool.
That was fully, there was a being, like an entity, I don't know, a ghost.
Yeah. Los Angeles doesn't surprise me at all either.
No. And the building was really old, but it was renovated, but it was really, really old. And do you want to hear this story? It's actually crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I had this feeling that somebody was always in the house or in the apartment, and I would like check everywhere. And I'm like, no, it felt like somebody was like voyeur, like stalking me or something. That was the feeling that
Voyeurism.
I had. I had that inside of me, right? So one day I'm blow drying my hair. This is a true story. Fog clouds up in the mirror. And I'm like, okay, it's the moisture, like with me blow drying my hair.
Condensation.
And then it goes away really quick.
Whoa.
Like really, really fast.
Oh, because it gets super cold for a second?
Maybe. Because it came into the bathroom.
Yeah.
So this keeps happening. That door to the bathroom, my bathroom, it would open and shut, close. My roommate was like, what the heck? We were like sitting in the living room and she saw it happen before her eyes. We're both like so freaked out. So we call in ghost hunters.
What?
Yeah.
Cool.
We did.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And they were like, okay, they did all the tests. They're like, there's definitely a ghost in here. And it's a very prominent energy. And we need to do like this. We have to like do this cleansing seance where we talk to him and tell him like, he can't be here anymore. He doesn't live here.
Yeah.
Like what's going on? So they had me write down anything that came to my mind about this entity. This is part of it. And they wrote down what was coming to them.
Did they have like the headphones on and they're like listening to something?
Yep. And they had like the I forget the name of those. They like cross over the metal.
I've seen those.
Detectors.
Yeah.
And it was like really, really
like
active.
divining rods almost.
Yeah. Yeah. And they were really, really active. And they're like, oh yeah, he's around. So we both knew it was a guy. And we open up our papers and they're the same.
Whoa.
They had like the same name came to mind. I'm like, he's wearing a top hat. They were like, he's wearing a top hat. I'm like, he's wearing this cloak. He was wearing a cloak. So the ghost hunter and my papers were the same. So clearly we were seeing the same ghost, right?
Yeah.
Crazy. Come to find out, this was a real person. We looked up the name. We looked up the history of my building. It was a real person that died, and he lived there. And he was gay and couldn't come out as being gay because at that time he didn't feel it. So my bathroom...
If he's wearing a top hat, for sure.
Yeah. right.
It's like 1890.
Oh,
yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I would have a historic ghost living with me.
Yeah.
Like, that would be something that would happen in my life.
Yeah.
Anyways, we had to like do this whole thing where we sent him back to his ancestors and we were like, it's time for you to move on. And it was really actually an incredible experience. I was like sobbing, crying.
Really?
I felt him leave and he never came back. He came back like one time in my dream. So I knew he was there and he just said thank you to me. And left.
Yeah, he just said goodbye. He said his piece.
So
he's like, peace and love.
That's a pretty
I'm out.
profound experience.
Yeah, that's wild. What?
So since then I was like, all right, we just like don't know. Some people are stuck in between worlds. I think some people go on to different places. We don't know.
Yeah, I know. I'm very curious to find out.
Hopefully not too soon.
Yeah. Hopefully it's before I get like, I was going to say cancer, but I don't know.
What the heck? Like your generation just like figures that's what's going to happen in your lifetime. That's so sad.
No, it's just that like there's just so much crap that we eat and breathe, and not that I do think that's going to happen to me.
This morning.
I know exactly, right? But it's like also, I mean, my pops. I had an aunt die when she was like 49. My pop swears that she never drank or smoked in her life. She died of lung cancer. My old man has lived through a war.
Yeah.
3 overdoses, I mean, being punched in the face probably hundreds of times. I mean, we're talking about like Vietnam, like Agent Orange, napalm, all that stuff. He smoked, done like every drug that's ever existed.
And he's kicking.
He's 73 right now. The worst thing about him is his hip.
Right?
He was a cowboy for 50 years. Like that kills your butt. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know, but that's why we think we have all the answers. But like my father was so healthy.
Yeah.
And he died of pancreatic cancer.
Exactly. What is that about?
I don't know. You know, like we don't know. And then like I have a friend whose grandmother is still alive. I think she's 101.
Yeah.
And has drank a Diet Coke every day of her life since for like the past
Gross.
like forever.
Yeah.
And she's 101 years old.
Right.
And has never had any ailments whatsoever.
Yeah.
So like we just don't know.
Well, that's one of those big things where somebody's like, oh, I'm getting sick, and they're like, you know, I'm like, don't say that. I'm like, you're literally just making yourself sick. I swear, just by saying that you're getting sick.
Oh yeah. Oh,
you know
the
what
power
I mean?
The power of our words.
Huge.
We actually should do a whole
we should
episode on
I mean,
that.
that's like I remember hearing somebody they were like they were very like holistic or something, and they're like, why do you think it's called a spell? Right? Like words are spelled, you know? They're like, why do you think it's called a spell?
Yes.
Because it's like speaking it.
What we speak.
Right.
Comes back to us.
And that was honestly one of the whole reasons I was like down to do this. Because like this podcast, just because like talking, just like vomiting words out.
Yeah.
You know, is like
powerful.
Is good. Even no matter what it is, as long as you're not like, you know, dipping into this like self-pity or blah blah blah, you know what I mean? It's like helps you figure things out. You don't even realize it. That's why like therapy is such a big thing, you know what I mean? Because it's just people talking.
You know, I'm a coach.
Yeah.
I'm a life coach.
Right.
And that's what I help people do. And I think the thing that I love about being a coach is, yes, people speak what they need to speak, but then we set goals to make whatever you're feeling better. To make you know that you can be the best version of yourself. It's possible.
So when somebody finds you as a coach, like how does the beginning of that go with you and like a new client, or maybe it's like do you, like the first questions you ever ask them, or what? How does that work?
Whenever I do an initial intake to make sure that we're a good fit, because I'm all about that. Like we both have to like vibe with each other's energy.
You gotta both be like water signs or whatever.
No, I accept all zodiac signs, just so everybody on here knows. I don't care what your sign is.
Open-minded.
But I'm very open-minded. It's true. Libras. I'm very fair. Libras are fair. So we have a consultation, make sure that we're a right fit. And then from there, they just come in and tell me, they usually tell me, a lot of them were in traditional therapy and it wasn't working for them. So then they are sent to me or guided to me. And my whole thing is I hold a space where they will never feel punished.
I mean, that's the goal no matter what. With anybody that is in your position, right?
Well, you would hope so, but I've heard like all these different things that they feel like they're not safe, even in that environment. And my goal is to make them feel emotionally the most safe that they've ever felt in their life.
So what are some of the things that don't make them feel safe? That they tell you about maybe other people that they try to do this with?
I work with a lot of teen and young adults.
Okay.
Kind of just ended up that way. That's kind of my specialty.
You're young at heart. That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm young at heart. Yeah, exactly. So the one thing that I've heard repeatedly is that they would go to traditional therapy and then the therapist, you know, okay, maybe the parents are helping pay for it, but the therapist would then bring in the parents and they would tell them everything they're
that's horrible.
For a teenager.
Doesn't that break a law? Isn't there a law against that?
No, because if they're underage,
under 18,
I think that can help. But I tell the parents
are just automatically privy to everything they fucking think.
Well, right. So my rule of safety is, unless, you know, if there's thoughts or feelings, if there's something about hurting themselves or others,
Yeah.
I have to share it. And they know that from day one.
Well, that's also a lie, isn't it?
Yes, but I have to reiterate that to everybody.
Yeah.
And then from there, I tell the parents, I'm like, listen, I just had a client that decided it wasn't a fit because she didn't think that. She wanted to know from me everything that her son was telling me. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. And she's like, well, how am I going to know? And it was interesting to hear her response because I said, you're going to see in his actions. You're going to see in his actions how things are, how he's getting the help that he needs from me.
Which is like one of the most basic truths. I mean, I could tell you I'm going to the gym every day, but you could see me in 3 months and be like, no, you're not, you know?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So I'm like, well, why don't we just like try, you know? Like, why don't you put a little faith and trust? And to me, right there and then, I was like, well, maybe the mother should actually work with me because she needs to have
possibly the cause of some of this.
Well, you know, I'm just speaking generally now, but I feel like if these young adults don't feel like they are trusted, they're going to rebel. It's their natural instinct to rebel if they feel like they're not wanted, they're not heard, and they're not trusted.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I can say is they all come in and they're like, this is my favorite, like you're my favorite person to talk to.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Because I feel so safe and trusted here.
That makes a ton of sense. I definitely had that feeling when I was a kid. Up until not that long ago, honestly. You know,
with
like,
who?
Oh, my parents, especially my mom. I mean,
you felt trusted.
No, the opposite.
Oh.
Yeah, we're talking about the rebellion thing. Like,
yeah.
I mean, and it's like, and that's where it's like only recently in my life have me and my mom become like friends. You know, we used to hate each other, like in high school and stuff. I mean, she would never say that, but it's like the kid. You know, that's how you feel. Like, God, fuck you, mom. You know.
Yeah,
but she would obviously be like, no, I love you. You're so smart. I've always loved you, know, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, but I mean, I moved out of her house when I was like 16. You know, it's not like she can be like, well, you know, that was all you. Well, she probably would, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I think that it's part of my practice is helping people reflect.
Absolutely. And I think that's like, well, in my opinion, I feel like that is the whole point of talking to somebody in any manner.
Oh, yeah.
Therapeutic. The good ones just let you talk to yourself almost. And that's where we're talking about like the power of just like vomiting stuff over your tongue and out into the ether. And then it does become real somehow. You know, you're like hearing it bounce off the wall and back in your ear and you're like, oh my God.
Oh, totally. The mirror. I'm just their mirror. I tell them that I'm your bouncing board. I'm your mirror.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I do think is different. I set goals for the week, even if it's a small one. They're like afraid to talk to somebody, and I'm like, okay, you're gonna talk to him or her this week.
Do you like start it off and you're like, I'm rubber and you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you.
Totally. That's the goal. Okay, rapid fire.
1. What is your song of the week?
My song of the week is "Heart of Glass."
Oh, by who?
Blondie.
Wow, okay. I mean, I know that song.
Had a heart of glass.
Yeah.
Seemed like the real thing only to find.
Nice.
Would you mistrust? Love's gone behind. In between. There is.
I don't know the
All right, cool.
Who's one person in your life that you appreciate right now?
My son.
I knew you were going to say that. I fucking knew it.
We've had a moment. We've had a moment in time.
Like recently, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been like a little tough. He's like pre-puberty.
Yeah.
And I just want him to know how loved he is.
Yeah. You should put him into boxing.
All right. Think about that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think it's good.
Cool. Thanks for that.
It's always good to know how to defend yourself and kick ass.
All right. Yeah.
I do think there is something about that would... something about something like that. Like, obviously there's like arrogant children out there and they will take a discipline like that and use it in negative ways. But for somebody like Socks, it just teaches him extreme confidence and probably how to never be scared of anybody else.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
I'm gonna look into that.
I mean,
thanks, Jassy.
I mean, it's real. Like there's people. I mean, I would tell people
for
I'm
Faye
not scared
too.
of. Oh, Faye would just dominate. Holy crap, she would
Maybe
mess
it would work
people
the
up.
other way for her. I don't know.
No, she needs to do like Tai Chi.
Right. That's true.
But yeah, like personally, because I boxed for like 3 years, and nowadays it's like my one thing I'll tell people, like, I'm not scared of anybody except for the guys who would kill me. Because it's like, if I got in a fight, or if somebody tried to like fight me or whatever, it's like, dude, I don't. One, I know I have nothing to prove to them. Two, I know for a fact 90% of the time I'm gonna win.
Right.
And three, it's like, unless you're gonna kill me, don't start.
Right.
Because I probably won't stop. You know what I mean? Like, if it gets that serious, you know what I mean? It's like, and that's what people, like dudes who like go out and that's like who they are. It's they're either one and two dudes. And most likely they're not the latter.
Probably.
And the latter is the only scary one. And those types of dudes are like, it's not like you would ever meet them anyways, they're like mafiosos or capos or, ex-special forces or something. And also those types of dudes are the nicest ones you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
That's
true.
Really.
Super generous.
Yes.
They're really, I know.
Sometimes they're extremely quiet, you know what I mean? And it's just like, you can just feel that they're like terrifying. It's always like the loudest dude in the room. I'm like, you're actually the weakest. Probably.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
You're right. You're right. Be careful. I know, even in dating, be careful of the quiet ones.
Oh, yeah. They're always monitoring. They're like, red flag, red
Right.
box, the whole checklist.
Right.
It's like, that's number 54.
They're silently keeping.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
So what hat are you wearing today?
Oh, this is a kimosabi.
Kimosabi?
Kimosabi.
What? Are we in the Lone Ranger? Kimosabi. Looks good. I like the feather. What kind of feather is that? Looks like a turkey feather.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Oh, it's on your left side.
I'm not sure. I don't remember, but it's cute, huh?
Turkey? Grouse?
It's cute. It's actually dark green. I don't know if you can tell, but it's
Dark green.
It's really cute.
Frick, what is that? It's not like a peacock. Turkey or grouse. Or maybe it's a duck feather.
Do you have any other questions for me?
Oh, shoot. No, I had a bunch earlier, but I forgot them. That's
All right,
okay.
it's okay. It's my
Why
turn.
don't you go? Yeah.
Okay, song of the week.
Oh, my song of the week is probably Superman by Eminem.
Okay, you need to sing it for 2 chords.
Oh, shit. Where does he go? He's like, I was actually listening to the first time last night in forever, and I was like, I want to learn all the words to this and make this my new karaoke song because it's fucking awesome.
Okay, well, sing it.
What does he go?
This is your first shot.
He's like, they call me Superman, leap tall hoes in a single bound. I'm single now. Ain't got no ring on his finger now. Never gonna let another chick bring me down in a relationship. Save it, bitch. Babysit, you make me sick.
Whoa.
Girl, you can go jump on Shady's dick. Fuck. What's the rest of it?
Beep that out.
I mean, it's Eminem. I'm like, what do we expect?
Yeah, Eminem's the best.
I was listening to it a couple times last night, and that was what I got so far because right as I was listening to it, I got to the gym, and it was really hard to work out and try to memorize the fucking lyrics at the same time. But anyways, that's mine for the week.
Nice. What made you buy your Vans hat? I was going to say what I can read.
Oh, my Vans hat?
Yeah.
I was in a store recently, probably like a skate shop, and I just saw it, and I was like, that's like a classic Vans hat, and I just wanted it, you know? I haven't bought like a nice skate gear in a while. I feel like that's what this is, you know what I mean?
Are you
it was
skater?
new. I used to be a lot. I recently bought a deck again. I want to start like pushing again.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that was something I used to do all the time. In the summertime, it's like your mom just goes drop you off at the skate park.
Yeah.
And then she never has to pick you up because I guarantee you're going to hang out with homies afterwards.
Right.
And you just spend all day skating. You skate for like from like 10 to 1. You get fucking exhausted kind of.
Go eat lunch.
And then, you walk to Smith's, which was like 2 blocks away.
Nice.
I would always get the Arizona teas and like some fucking chicken nuggets and then go back.
Totally.
Oh, yeah, because they're $1. You get like 4 of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're not even like they're not even like thirst quenching, you know, there's like so much sugar in them and shit, but
no.
And then you would skate for the next
Probably
like
not
5
even
hours
chicken.
again. Yeah, from like the little delis. It's like 90% like fried crispy or whatever, and there's like a little tiny piece of chicken in there.
Yeah. Nice. Do you think you want kids someday?
I don't know. We'll see.
All right, that was good.
It would be great to have a little motherfucker running around, but
You haven't figured it out yet.
adopting a kid would be cool too.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes
All
I
right.
think I'm too selfish to have kids. I don't
All
know.
right. Well, you're at the age where I think that you should be.
Yeah.
You know? Even though I already already had children by the time I was your age.
Yeah, well, that was the whole thing. I feel like I mean, it was possible that I would have had a child about 2 years ago, and it never happened. Obviously, I was not ready for it at all. But I do think it was like, fucking, I can take a challenge. You know, I can be thrust something and be like, yes, I'm gonna manhandle this thing. Let's do the last question.
Okay, what is your favorite role you've ever played?
My favorite role I've ever played was this movie called Miles Per Gallon. It was a student film last summer. It was awesome. I was the lead with Janet, who was amazing. So I was Riker, and she, holy smokes, I'm going to get heat for not being able to remember her name. Noah. It was Noah, which is such a cool name for a girl. I love that.
Yeah, that is.
And basically, it was a short film, 20 minutes long, and I was older. Ooh, scandalous. She was like 17. I think I was 19, 20, maybe 21, because I had cigarettes. Oh, yeah, I was at least 21, because I had like beers and cigarettes. And stuff like that. And basically, I convinced her to like hop in my car, and like we're trying to drive out to California, and I'm hiding a drug habit. I'm like just doing a copious amounts of cocaine, kind of, you know what I mean? Like all the time, you know what I mean? It's not where it's like I'm like doing like a lot at a time. It's like the little, right? That like keeps you going constant throughout the day. Yeah, you know what I mean? And eventually I like beat the crap out of the shop owner, and you know, we like somehow stayed at this house that we weren't supposed to stay at, and I don't think we stole the car. It's possible. I can't quite remember right now, but eventually at the end of the movie, I leave around the side of the road and I just take off because the cops are coming.
Oh, wow.
Because I beat the frick out of the shop owner.
Wow.
Steal a bunch of gas, and we like take off, and he recognizes her. So, and then we're like fighting in the car, and I ditch her on the side of the road. I like pull over, she gets out, she's like crying in the dirt, and I like run around the car, you know, I'm like yelling at her and stuff. I'm like, what the fuck, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then she like lays there just like whimpering for a second. I'm like, fuck this. And I like hop in and just like boost away. And then I think after that, the last scene.
Don't tell us the end.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we're gonna all go watch it.
Yeah. I'll just bleep out like everything I just said.
I know. We're gonna watch it. Okay, we need to end
because
because I have
being
to go to
edited.
the bath. I have to pee.
All right. Well, that's the end of episode 2 because Jackie has to pee. Do you want to sign off?
Sign off. If you ever feel like you have to go to the bathroom, I just think that
Just do
everyone
it.
should go.
Just do it.
I think that they should go.
Fuck a hall pass.
No hall pass. No hall pass. In my yoga classes, I'm like, just get up and go.
Oh, I know. I was super nervous to do that the first time I did yoga with you, actually.
And then I was like, no, you just go.
I know. Isn't this educational
that we're
system
yoga
stupid
buddies.
for like teaching me that?
Yeah.
I know. I love it too.
All right.
All right. Goodbye, everybody. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.